The go live. The go live button. All right. Talking about Bitcoin. So, last week on the month, very first thing I think I said in the last stream was that this RSI and the MACD were telling me things weren't looking that good. And I really underestimated how much it could go down. Like, this isn't my job, right? These videos I watch as a retrospective of my trading to keep me honest. So, another thing that I say all the time, it's in the description of the video, is stop limits. Stop limits, stop limits, stop limits. It's the most important tool you have. It's more important than indicators. And if you don't set your stop limits, you're wrecked, right? And I had left the last video saying that I was going to go hunt for some altcoins, right? And I only got into a couple altcoins and I got stopped out. So I'm not mad, but people are mad at me when I told them stop limits. Learn stop limits. I don't talk to anybody without telling them to learn stop limits. And this is it. I mean, if you look at the screen, if you look at Bitcoin on the month, this is your whole reason to have stop limits. Now, let me see. All right. We've got plenty of room to go down on the MACD. We've got plenty of room to go down on the RSI. I'm just saying. We've got a full solid ass one candle on the month, and we are just hours away from the end of the month. So this is the candle for the month, a solid one down. And that's where we're at. So let's go ahead and we'll go to the day. I'm going to try to make this quick. And we have gone right through the 200. Right through the 200 on the day. We looked like we might start to trade under the 200, but no. And if I say this all the time with the odd numbers, but we're on a solid 7 candle down, and if we have a 7 candle, then there's a good chance that we could have a 9 candle, which means 2 more days of downward action. Yep. Let's look at it on the 4-day. All right. $74K. 74K. If it gets to 74K, I have to do some calculations because I'm still in profit in my Bitcoin from my last purchase. So if it gets to 74K, I'll have to think about it. And it'll be a hard choice. On the 4-day, that would be a 9 candle, a 9 red candle. So, very possible. Very possible here with the MACD too on the 4-day. RSI is not telling me anything, but the MACD is telling me that, yeah. Not much point in looking at the 1 week. So 75K is where our next EMA line is hitting. And so let's go to the day. This blue range right here, this is, if it starts to fall out of this like it did, let me pull this just over a little bit. If this starts to fall out of this blue range, then you need to clear the table, right? You shouldn't be holding on to anything. I'm holding on to a few altcoins that I bought a long time ago that made it through the culling process a couple times. And I wish I had set stop limits on them, to be honest with you. It was bad for some of the other alts. Really bad. So, all right, stop limits. Holy cow. Use them, abuse them. It's better to get stopped out of a trade and have to buy back in than it is to lose money. That's how this works. Without stop limits, you are gambling. And if you watch the pancake video, the pancake swap video, the prediction video, you'll know that gambling is the worst way to do this. So stop limits, stop limits, stop limits, stop limits. We're here. Once we fell out of this, it was, once we came out of that 90, I thought maybe we might go to like 90K. And hopefully we were going to stay in this range. This is it's a range of 15%. I was hoping we would stay in that range and maybe jump up to 115 in the next 30 days, right? I was wrong. We're down here. Now we don't want to be catching knives. Right? This is knives. This is 7. We could do another 2 days. We could do another 4 days. Easy from the charts. So hopefully you're in cash. I can't tell you to sell if you're holding the bag right now. I can say that when you're learning to trade, every good trader will tell you that you're going to lose money in the beginning. And this is definitely a shakeout moment for weak hands. And if you have already sold, then congratulations, because we may have another couple weeks of this downside where things may be, you know, like Solana might be a real bargain. Or Render, or quite a few that I've been watching that I liked. Where's XML? Not XML. XLM. Right? I was watching that because look at that spike. Look at that spike. But I was watching that wishing that I had gotten into it. Well, this might not be a bad time to start getting into that. So I'll start watching this. But Oh, okay. So, no, all hope's not lost. Bitcoin is the greatest thing ever, period. It's going to replace nation state currency, nation state fiat with a solid measure of wealth and value. Don't freak out. And here's the why. I was wrong. I think I've said multiple times, I know I've said it to people, I've said multiple times that we may not see the large 30% corrections in this bull run that we saw in other bull runs. I said that. I've said that before. Well, I was wrong. So let's look. This is why it's not panic. I'm still going through. I'm gonna take apart uh, my washing machine and my dryer, and I'm gonna look for change in there to buy Bitcoin. Well, to buy altcoins, and then I'm gonna sell those, and then I'm gonna buy Bitcoin. But and here's why. Let me see. Yeah, the measuring tool. Right. From the from the tippy top, right? From the tippy top down to where we are, it's 27%. So 30% on, well, as close as my hands can get to 30% is 75,000. Has that number come up a couple times in my discussion here? So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you're not wrecked. But if you are, it's not time to despair. If you're holding on to a lot of altcoins, if you've got all your money in altcoins, I'm sorry. That's not the idea. The idea is to have a small account, especially if you're trading to begin with, and build the money in that account. And like, if let's say you start with $400 and that account gets to $4,000 someday, then everything above that $1,000, I suggest you pull that out and you put it into a regular stock or S&P 500 index, right? A tech index, something that performs year to year. And then don't worry about it. The whole point of this is not to get a Lambo and wreck it on the highway. The whole point of this is to be able to do things when you are old and retired, or retire early, right? So anyway, yeah, this sucks. There's nothing really more for me to say. We've still got till like 75K before we hit that kind of 30% that we've all been talking about. And I didn't have, yeah, I obviously wasn't ready for it. Well, I mean, my account's in cash, so that's good. But I do have altcoins that I have a lot of altcoins that I was waiting till the end of this cycle to sell that I could have gotten out of, and that would have been where the real profit would have been for me for this month, for the next couple months. I would have felt like a genius. But I didn't. I had them in wallets that I can't get to quickly. So, all right. Tomorrow's Friday. Work hard. Do your thing. Weekend's coming up. Don't think about this stuff. I'm not going to think about this over the weekend. Don't think about it over the weekend. Have a great weekend. Right now, in so many places around the world, it is beautiful right now. So go out. Have a good day.